part of the deal. Told you this was going to happen. It was inevitable. Donald Trump's in a perpetual state of negotiation. A huge win for the president, a huge win for the country, his biggest accomplishment of the second term, and there have been many. Take a look at all the progress from this president just over the last, few months in office. And now, once again, the haters, the doubters, the legacy media mob, the Chicken Littles, the Democrats, all the people on the left wing, they were all proven wrong, screaming and yelling and ranting and raving. They all, as usual, end up with egg on their face. Exactly 1 week after Liberation Day, the stock market closed with its third biggest overall gain since World War II. S&P up nearly 10%. The Dow Jones up nearly 8%, with the biggest point increase in American history in a single day. The NASDAQ, that jumped by more than 12%. Markets rallied after President Trump announced an immediate 90-day pause on his stated reciprocal tariffs. Why was he able to pause this? Now, this is for every country that chose not to retaliate, which he warned against our country. And instead, they were lining up. They were offering, and in many cases, begging and pleading with President Trump, let's negotiate free and fair trade agreements. So basically, Donald Trump won. And he will win in these negotiations as well. Instead of starting a trade war, Donald Trump used the strength of our country, used his strength, put his political capital on the line, something a lot of people in Washington really don't like to do, drew a line in the sand, said very clearly, unequivocally, the days of ripping off the American people and America is over. The days of taking advantage of this country, it is over. The days of abusing our country is over. Donald Trump knew these countries, they desperately need access to our markets. They want your money. So over 75 countries, they're now begging to make a deal with Donald Trump for free and fair trade. And pretty soon, American goods will be more competitive all across the globe. That's good for the American economy. And by the way, these countries would be very wise, if you're watching internationally, you should seek out your deal as soon as possible. I'm going to make a prediction. The first 15 deals will be much more favorable than the last 15 deals. Just a guess, but what do I know? I'm just a talk show host. Now, the longer the wait, the higher the price will be. But don't forget, dozens of foreign countries, multinational businesses, they have already announced a whopping, look at this list. Look at it. A whopping $5 to $7 trillion just by the threat of implementing tariffs. That's money that's going to be spent in infrastructure, manufacturing, auto plants, chip companies right here in the United States of America. Why? In order to avoid any trade uncertainty. They're like, yeah, let's build in America. Perfect time. Donald Trump's in office. Now, this means more high-paying career jobs for the American people. That means more industry. That means less dependence on other nations. For example, we're far too dependent on other countries for pharmaceuticals. Oh, what if COVID 2.0, God forbid, happens? We're too dependent on getting semiconductors abroad. We're going to make them here in America. By the way, this is going to be the new normal. The old establishment, institutionalist mindset is now officially dead. This is what America First looks like. This is what it means to be strong. This is what it means that America is not going to be pushed around any longer. And there was even more good news tonight. Communist China, they're finally getting held accountable. I'm pretty happy about it, and I'll explain in a second. Unlike Americans, and partners, let's take a look first.
This was driven by the president's strategy. He and I had a long talk on Sunday, and this was his strategy all along. And that, you might even say that he goaded China into a bad position. They responded. They have shown themselves to the world to be the bad actors. And we are willing to cooperate with our allies and with our trading partners who did not retaliate. It wasn't a hard message. Don't retaliate. Things will turn out well.
That was the message. It's pretty clear. If you want free and fair trade, you can have it. If you want reciprocal tariffs, you can have that too. If you want to try and take advantage of America, that you can have. Unlike the partners that we have around the globe, China has no interest in good faith negotiations. They have shown no good faith negotiations up till now. That may change. Now, they started a trade war that, frankly, China cannot win. President Xi Let me tell you, if you hear about this show somewhere in China at some point in the coming days, you are playing chicken with the wrong guy. Even before Trump's latest 125% tariff on your country, China's currency was already crashing. It's now at the lowest point since 2007. It is going lower. And mark my words, President Xi will be begging for access to America's markets as he watches one country after another, make a free and fair trade deal with the United States of America. China's economy also depends on America's lucrative market. They want your money, too. Everybody around the world wants your money. They need us to buy their cheap products in bulk. Millions of Chinese citizens will be out of work without our cold, hard cash. They'll be stuck. Meanwhile, China's retaliatory tariffs, they don't have a huge impact on the U.S. They've been ripping us off for decades. Now, just look at what they do. Look at what they charge us. Look at how they have abused us. Look at how they rip you off. And we've allowed this to happen for 50 or 60 years. How stupid are we? This is now coming to an end. Well before Donald Trump, the CCP imposed massive tariffs against American products. Look at that. Look at everything that you can think of. You know, and that prevents us from competing in China. They won't allow our products in China. But this is about so much more than trade. The Communist Party of China, they are a ruthless, sloppy adversary that continually harms the American people and our allies around the globe. They caused COVID-19. They lied about it with the help of the WHO. They tried to hide it from the U.S. and the world. It cost the United States and the world precious time. Many lives were lost in the process. Every year, they steal what is the equivalent of hundreds of billions of dollars worth of American intellectual property, including top secret military technology. They have hacked the U.S. Treasury Department, Verizon, AT&T. They routinely spy on politicians, business leaders, talk show hosts, and other Americans, and maybe even some of you watching tonight. According to the House Homeland Security Committee, the FBI opens a new intel case against China every 12 hours. They're not friends of ours. They've not shown friendship towards us. And let's not forget the 250,000 Americans who died from Chinese fentanyl smuggled into the U.S. to poison your children. Now, this ends with Donald Trump. Xi, you've been put on notice. The old way of doing things are over. America will prosper with or without you. You're going to feel pain if you continue to fight with the United States of America. It's your choice. Make a deal. The legacy media mob will continue to get it wrong. Here's a quick example.
President Trump's global trade war is entering a new and dangerous phase.
If he tanks the entire, what do you call it?
Economy,
the stock market, then all his billionaire friends can swoop in and buy everything low. That's not an original idea. That's Hakeem Jeffries said that.
This is an authoritarian president who understands nothing about international trade, breaking the global economy so that he can get other countries to call him up and grovel.
We get so much of our lumber, our 2x4s, from Canada. Where we get it from? Canada. We get our newsprint from up there for newspapers. The fact is we get it. What are we going to do? Have more lumber made in the United States now? What is our plan now? Oh, we're not going to import wood, so we're going to make more wood? We're going to create more wood? Is that it? I don't think we are in a position to simply replicate the imports coming into this country with our own products. It can't always be done. And I think if wood's example of that, wood. Are we going to make more wood in this country because of our trade deal? I don't think so.
Ask yourself a question. Are you going to take economic advice from joyless Behar over at ABC Disney's The View, or that idiot Chris Matthews on MSDNC? Here's the difference between Trump and these overpaid idiots on TV. While they panic and sell fear constantly and hatred and rage against all things Trump, he's in a perpetual state of America First negotiations. And now that he has the world's attention, which he got, he has now proven that he means what he says. The old ways of doing things are over. America's new golden age is already underway, and you will benefit as a result of his spine, his backbone, and his strength. That's my prediction. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.